This time of year, most people don't think of actually gardening. Well, I do actually, to be honest. Like most gardeners, I surround myself with all kinds of wonderful magazines and books, getting ideas for the spring. But believe it or not, a winter landscape holds its own beautiful attractions as well. And it's my pleasure now, thanks to Harry waking me up, to go outside there and show you some of these splendid features. Most people don't realize that in North Pennsylvania, we have a winter landscape for about 6 months of the year. Some days are magnificent like this, a lot of days are kind of dull, and we might not even have snow cover. So if your garden looks drab when the first frost hits it, it's going to look drab for 6 to 7 months till the spring comes around again. I've been more and more concerned about designing gardens that do look good in winter. When it comes to design, I look at things like silhouettes of trees, shapes, fastigate narrow shapes, broad spreading, weeping trees. Some plants have wonderful red stems, yellow stems. Some have exfoliating bark, like the birch is a common example. I'm going to take you around and show you some of these wonderful ideas that if you start now, and remember in winter landscape, put them where you see them. There's no point putting them way in the back of your yard because that's going to be lost, you're not going to be out there. Put them where you come into your house or where you look out of a window, and then you'll start to enjoy the winter gardening season much, much more. And the great thing about winter gardening is you don't really have to get out there and do any digging. And here we have one of the better buried winter kind of plants. This is the pyracantha, a variety called Mojave. The fruit is just drying out a little bit, but still very, very attractive. It's a thorny little devil, and this variety, Mojave, I think is very hardy for our area. It's a plant which also grows quite well in the shade. Let's go and find some more berries. And here we have perhaps the most spectacular of all the buried shrubs. This is actually a holly. It's a deciduous holly. Ilex verticillata is its botanical name. Like all hollies, it needs a male to pollinate the flowers to set the fruit. The male actually doesn't have any fruit itself, and these are all the females. But what a display, the wonderful winterberry. We use a lot of these in our wreaths. We cut the stems off and put them in. They're a great addition to any winter decoration. And behind it, a nice complementary yellow-stemmed dogwood. Now here's a flowering crab. The flowers have long since gone, and what's left behind is this wonderful display of little crab apples. They look like little bright red cherries. They are drying out a little bit. They're a wonderful source of food for birds, but a wonderful attraction to your winter garden as well. Most people don't think of perennials as being a winter garden plant, but some of them, like the ornamental grasses, look fabulous in winter. Now, unfortunately this year, because we had an early wet snowfall, they got crushed down a bit, but some of the specimens do survive quite nicely. This is a maiden grass, Miscanthus, and here with a light coming through it, it really is a wonderful feature for your garden. Now, one of the commonest trees used for its wonderful bark is our friend the birch. Now, unfortunately, most of the birches people plant are very short-lived. What's been happening in recent years is that you're developing new hybrids that are much more disease-resistant. They stop the borer from getting in, and the leaf miner won't attack them. This is a new cultivar. It doesn't look much more different than anything else, but it has a purple leaf in summer. And in this situation, the white bark here with a blue spruce and a lovely red crabapple behind, it looks a lovely plant combination, and that certainly will liven up your winter landscape. One of the really interesting design aspects in the winter landscape is looking at the silhouettes. Some people call them the bones, the skeleton of your landscape. Here we have a willow. It's an outstanding willow for the winter silhouettes, called a corkscrew willow. It really looks after its own position in the garden nicely. Bayberries. Great source of food for birds and also very attractive in the landscape. It's almost semi-evergreen. A real cold winter, the leaves do tend to drop, but in a mild winter, it looks pretty evergreen. In choosing plants for your winter landscape, look at their shape. This is a tall, thin or fastigate upright juniper. Surround this with other different shapes and you've got a wonderful feature, especially when you get a light covering of snow or frost on it. They look really, really attractive. This one is waiting for its friends to come around it. That's next year's project. Now here's something every gardener recognizes in the summer. It's actually one of our privets. This is a Vickery privet, a golden leaf variety. But privets form lovely dark black berries that can be used in all kinds of decorating. I wouldn't say it's attractive as a landscape plant now, but certainly the berries are an attractive feature. And if you're using them for home decorating, you'll find a place for them. Ornamental grasses can add a tremendous amount to a home landscape. This one is particularly spectacular in winter. It's the hardy pampas grass, or Aranthis. It's standing probably well over 12 feet tall. The secret of keeping it like this is to make sure you don't get too much heavy wet snow build up on it. This one somehow in our winter has survived it, and what a specimen it is. And here's another lovely specimen for a winter landscape. This is a Tristis birch. It's a Young's birch with a funny kind of weep. It doesn't seem to be going anywhere. And the silhouette now against this wonderful white background, very, very attractive. And this brings us to the end of our winter garden segment, and just to kind of remind you of the features to look for in plants. Things that have red, yellow, coloured stems are very attractive, bark that peels off, silhouettes, different sorts, upright, round, weeping, all add wonderful kind of impact to your winter landscape. Don't forget those plants that have berries that last well into the winter. And for perennials, grasses, and even some of the irises can look excellent in the winter landscape. So from all of us here at a very cold and freezing Greystone Gardens, think about it in the spring. I know no one's going to get out there and start buying plants now this time of year. Our cafe's open, so if any of you want to come and see these plants, you're more than welcome to do that. But the time to buy them, the time to ask about them, is in the spring. Come on, Harry. Let's go and get a nice cup of tea, okay?